say some days you're gonna win. You say some days you're gonna lose. I tell you, I got news for you. You're losing all the time, you never win. No. If you believe that's how it's gonna be, I better put you down. Get up, you take your book, and come out on the ground. You gotta save me now. You better turn around.
Good morning. 9:08, a little bit of change on this Thursday. We got a good one. Going to be talking to Jamie Goble here in a couple of minutes, learning more about Medicare and really just some of the ins and outs of it. Always an important conversation. And then coming down the pipeline in the 10 o'clock hour, we're going to be talking to John Johnson, friend of the show, and Professor Longhair. They were here a couple of months ago. And man, that was fun. We had magic tricks going on in the studio and so much more, and I'm sure they're going to be back in the studio and bringing us some more excitement. Plus, they're going to be at Old Bakery Beer Company in just a few short weeks, so it's going to be a really good show. Actually, it's coming up, I believe, this weekend, so we got to get last-minute tickets. That's what they'll be filling us in on. We'll have some fun in the studio today. I hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am, and really excited for Night Market tonight, and excited to get this Thursday, Friday, Saturday string of days going. Hey, top of the hour news now. Here's what you need to know. Make sure you sign up for that daily email update and you'll never miss out. You can join myself and 70,000 people in the know. 2 residents of Madison County face serious charges involving domestic battery and strangulation. Lindell Curtis, 64 years of age, of East Alton, was charged on the 4th of June with aggravated domestic battery and domestic battery after allegedly strangling one family member and pushing another to the ground. Curtis had been drinking before the incident and was denied pretrial release, remaining in custody. In a separate case, Stephen Melville II, 41, of Granite City, was charged on the 1st of June with aggravated domestic battery and a subsequent domestic battery offense for allegedly strangling and striking a family member on May 30th. Melville, who has a prior domestic battery conviction, was also denied pretrial release and is held at the Madison County Jail. This weekend, the Village of Brighton is welcoming Riverbend residents to the 118th annual Betsy Ann Picnic at Betsy Ann Park, starting Friday at 4 p.m. Festivities include vendors, carnival rides by Little Egypt shows, games, bingo, live music by Flip the Frog, and delicious food. Saturday continues with more food service, free, kid-friendly activities like a mini train ride and museum tours, and the Little Miss and Mr. Betsy Ann pageant at 4 p.m. The Tracy Inman Band will perform that evening. Attendees can also savor Brighton's famous, I always mispronounce this word, bourgogne soup, with around 700 gallons prepared this year. Parking's free and proceeds support park maintenance and local charities. You can see a full write-up on that event at RiverBender.com/news. The Alton City Council has voted 5-2 to create an ordinance imposing a 1% sales tax on groceries, set to replace the state grocery tax that expires next year. The state has levied a 1% grocery tax since 1990, with proceeds benefiting local municipalities. Without its replacement, Alton faces an estimated $400,000 annual loss to its general fund. The local tax will maintain grocery prices unchanged as it simply substitutes the existing state tax. The ordinance will undergo further readings before potential adoption on or by October the 1st, allowing Alton to begin local tax collection on the 1st of January 2026, joining neighboring communities in the Riverbend adopting similar measures. Community leaders recently came together to break ground on the new Byway Discovery Center near Piasol Harbor in Godfrey, a 4,500 square foot visitor orientation facility expected to open in the spring of 2026, positioned along the Meeting of the Great Rivers National Scenic Byway. The center aims to enhance recreational opportunities and drive economic development across the 6-county region of Great Rivers and Routes. The project, funded by a $10 million state grant, is praised for its potential to serve as a hub for tourism, education, and community engagement. Officials, including state representatives and the deputy governor, emphasize the center's role in fostering growth and regional collaboration. Finally, in the news today, Representative Amy Ellick recently addressed the North Alton Godfrey Business Council along with Senator Erica Harris. During her portion of the presentation, she highlighted key legislation developments in Illinois, including the fiscal year 26 state budget and the Prescription Drug Affordability Act, aimed at reducing drug costs by regulating pharmacy benefit managers. She discussed her sponsored bills benefiting the Metro East region and expressed disappointment over stalled ethic reforms and the sentencing of former Speaker Michael Madigan. Ellick opposed several bills, including a proposed service tax and assisted suicide legislation. She also raised concerns about a bill allowing WHO-approved medications without FDA approval, emphasizing the power of public advocacy. Ellick encourages constituents to stay engaged to help stop unfavorable legislation. We'll have an additional write-up for Senator Erica Harris's portion of that presentation out today. Let's look at weather. It's 9:14. It is like 90 degrees in this basement. I don't know what's going on. I am sweating today, boy. It's 76. It feels like 82 out there today. Pleasant with times of clouds and sun, but that smoke from the Canadian wildfires can enhance some of the air quality issues, along with creating some really nice shots of the sunrise and sunset. That's actually in our weather notes today. Tonight, partly cloudy. It will be humid. There could be a brief shower or two, but don't expect much. Air quality right now is at 86. That's up. Grass levels are moderate. Mold is low. Ragweed and tree level are moderate too. Temperatures reach 80 degrees today. They drop down to 68 overnight as we head into Friday the 13th. On Friday the 13th, the high is 76, a low of 68 degrees. Thunderstorms throughout the day. And then on Saturday, we're getting more thunderstorms, a high of 80, a low of 67, with periods of clouds and sun Saturday morning, and then those showers and thunderstorms will come in, and then by Saturday night, they will clear out. On Father's Day, a high of 82, a low of 67 degrees. And then on Monday, more rain, a high of 83, a low of 68, with thunderstorms predicted as we start our week next week. That's a look at the next 5 days. Here's what's happening now. 76 into the heart of the 618. It's 9:15, and that's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend. Hey, while I have you, got to fill you in. Got to do my job. I got to pay bills. And, you know, when you get to talk about places like Village Dispensary, you get to have fun with them. You know, Village Dispensary is a great supporter of this show and the community. And today, Thirsty Thursdays. Come on now. You can go right in today and get those Artet Senoritas for 30% off, Uncle Arnie's for 20% off. You know, it's always about those daily specials at Village Dispensary, and it's not even just that. You walk in and you can grab products for under $10. And I also like the fact that they're all about knowing who you are. You know, once you go in once, they're going to start to get to know you as you become a recurring customer, and they're going to really help you out and really find the product that really best serves you. New to cannabis? Hey, that's not all cool too. They have an educational portion of Village Dispensary, so you can sit down, talk a little bit about it, see if it's the right decision, right choice, and you're off to go. Village Dispensary is the place to be. VillageDispo.com to place your order and see the inventory that makes Snoop Dogg jealous. That's VillageDispo.com, and don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over their way. Alrighty, I got to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Jamie Goble right after this. You stay there, I'll stay here.
If I really could have hung the moon, would it change your mind? If I could cry a little harder and get a little less sleep.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh-made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Have a rash, pink eye, or urinary tract infection and need care now? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Start a virtual visit 24/7, whenever and wherever you need it. It's just that easy. osfoncall.org/virtual visit.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Oh, yeah. Well, I swear that I really want to know. Hi, baby. Well, I really want to say
9:19. Welcome back to Our Daily Show. Jamie Goble in the studio. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
So you have been at this for since 2018, and really, when we talk about Medicare, it's such an important conversation to have because I'm sure there's so many question marks whenever a client calls you, and there's so many different nuances to this industry too.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know what they're actually eligible for.
Right.
Some people can get extra benefits like vision, dental, hearing. It just kind of depends on the person. Help with their medications, stuff like that.
Well, and honestly, that's where I find it fascinating because I know of some people that might have Medicare, but they don't actually have the Medicare plan that's right for them.
Correct.
And you see them kind of getting into some trouble with medical bills and things like that because of, not really knowing all that information.
Right. And they don't know who to trust.
Yeah.
Which is understandable.
Well, and whenever you're working with your clients, I think that's I think we want to start with is what's that first phone call look like? Because I'm sure that's kind of be nerve-wracking for the client and also great for you to kind of get to know who they are.
Yeah, some people feel more comfortable over the phone or even going to their house. You just kind of got to feel where they need the most help, whether it's their doctors, prescriptions. You have to go through some important information with them to figure out what's right for them.
Well, and I'm sure you have to stay up to date too with, any changes that are, getting rolled out or any potential changes. And is that something that you have to do quite often?
Every year you have to get licensed with all the carriers to figure out what the changes are for next
Really?
AEP. Yep.
That's fascinating. See, I don't know too much about the the background of this, so I'm learning with everybody else today.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, and now you're going to be having some upcoming workshop lessons too, or workshops, and really just I don't want to call them seminars, but really a place where people can learn, and really get the ins and outs of this. And now, what was the idea behind having these events?
Just information events so they could, make their own decisions on what's right for them. Just kind of get the word out there. There's one June 25th, July 30th, and August 27th here in the Riverbender at 6 p.m.
Really cool. And now, do we need to RSVP ahead of time?
Yes, you can, to my phone number. It's the 618-225-7967.
Absolutely. And, Jamie, it's pretty impressive when you have 145 five-star reviews on Google.
Nice. I didn't even know that.
I'm looking right here. That's pretty impressive. Jamie was absolutely awesome. Is one of the latest 5 stars.
Awesome.
Well, and what's it mean to know? Because this is when you're talking Medicare, it can go one or two ways for people. I'm sure you have the great experiences and then you have the not so great experiences. So to be that person to where you can be the reliable source and really help these folks, it's got to feel great too.
Yes, because it's hard for them to understand. It's like so different from normal insurance.
Well, and now take me through that. Whenever somebody's really getting to that point where we have to understand what Medicare is, what's the best way to really get the information without being overloaded?
Well, I would just, if you call me, then we can set up an appointment and sit down and go over all your information. Just bring your doctors and your medications and just go through all the plans and really take my time to get to know what's the best plan for them.
Well, and now does anyone under 65 qualify?
If they've been disabled for 2 years, then they can apply for Medicare, and then they might be eligible to get it.
Well, and now this is a silly question too, but how do I know if I even do qualify for Medicare?
You would have to, if they're receiving Social Security benefits, you would just have to contact the Social Security office and talk to Medicare and see if you're eligible.
Okay. Well, and now so let's say I wasn't on the right plan last year. Can you change plans once that enrollment period starts, or how does that work?
Sometimes right now there is special enrollment period, so you can change now.
Oh, wow.
So you're not stuck.
See, that's what I was curious about, because I know that if you have the opportunity, I don't think I got the right path forward for me, you can still have some time to call Jamie and let's get this figured out.
Yes, you can.
How often do you meet with clients, in that initial kind of in the initial steps when you're figuring out the plan? Is it kind of a one-day scenario, or do you give them some time to think about it? Do you guys come back and circle back to it, or what's that process look like in the timeline?
Sometimes they make up their mind right then and there.
Wow.
Sometimes they need a couple days. Sometimes it may be more than that. You never know.
That's interesting. What got you into Medicare?
Well, I actually did medical collections, and then a girlfriend of mine started doing this, and I already knew some of the insurance background through my own medical journey. And my mom is 92, so I was helping her through it. So it just became a passion of mine.
Really cool. Well, and I just think it's really a needed service, because you're right. There's so many different times where you have folks that they really just don't know who to trust. And whenever I think it's a testament is when you have all these different folks that are saying, no, Jamie took care of us every step of the way, And going into this too, what are we going to learn in these upcoming events? How long are they? And can we ask a ton of questions during it, or is it best to kind of gather some information then talk to you afterwards?
Well, it's probably going to be about an hour.
Okay.
You can ask questions then, and then you can also set up an appointment with me later, and we can do a one-on-one.
Really cool. CJ, how do I do that online? Well, I'll take you right there. Listener, thanks for asking. You can go right over. This is the correct website,
That
correct?
is it.
Medicare Insurance Techs.com, and you just click the call us button, and you're good to go, or the contact form, and you can start moving forward. And I really like the fact that you guys have some already FAQs on there on your website, so we can get some background before we pick up the phone and call you too.
Exactly.
Well, and now, whenever you're working with Medicare patients, I'm sure it's a wide gauntlet of individuals with all different types of needs and ages. Is there ever, do you ever have just a high volume of just one specific, demographic, just people that are normally healthy and just need this Medicare to keep moving forward? Or is it folks that kind of have some different things going on mostly?
It's a little bit of both. I would say right now it's mostly people that are Medicare, Medicaid people. And then during AEP, which starts in October, it's more of a mixture.
Really? What's just because I'm not too familiar with it, what is AEP?
It's our open enrollment. So
that makes sense. Well, and what's
annual enrollment period.
What's the difference between Medicaid and Medicare?
Medicaid is through the state. Medicare is federal.
Oh, I'm learning a lot today. I'm actually learning a lot. I love this. Well, and this is what I think is so fascinating, because I can only imagine that there's so many folks that know the words Medicare and they know Medicaid, but when they call, the information just kind of loses out of or slips their mind, because they really don't know too much about it. It's just kind of something we've heard over and over for years, and then when we start, it's like, oh, it's our turn now.
Yeah, and in the state of Illinois, if you have a chronic condition and you have Medicare and Medicaid, you can get a food benefit. In Missouri, if you have both, you can get a food benefit. So they could be missing out on a lot of different benefits.
And see, that's what I'm really fascinated by too, because there's some folks that I've talked to where, maybe they just didn't sign up for the right plan, and all of a sudden they're like, man, this is ridiculous. I can't afford this, and it's not because it's not because Medicare is bad. It's just we didn't sign up for the right thing. And does that happen quite often?
I have run into people that's happened to. They're not on the right plan, or their medications weren't covered because somebody just wanted to switch their plan just to make money off of it.
That's interesting. Well, do you have a moment to stick around? We've already been talking for 10 minutes. It's flying by. Do you have a moment to stick around so I can pay a bill?
Sure.
Cool. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with Jamie and learn more about Medicare, and learn more about ways that we can get over here, meet her for that hour, and learn all this information. And a question, can a guardian, not really guardians, but can the younger, the children in the parent's life, maybe if they're having some, mobility issues or can't make it, can the I guess the supervisor or the individual in charge of that, can they come just by themselves?
Yeah, their POA. Yeah.
Really cool. Awesome. We'll take a quick break. It's 9:27. We'll come back with Jamie, and we'll learn more about Medicare Insurance Techs and ways that you can be a part of these really great opportunities coming down the pipeline. The first one on June 24th?
It is.
Oh, I'm getting good. I'm remembering things today, Jamie.
Right.
How about that?
Oh, June 25th.
God dang it. Oh, I got to take
close.
a break. We'll be back.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back. 9:30. We're learning more about Medicare. And Jamie, thanks for stopping by today, and really excited. And it's one of those things where I was kind of nervous talking about it because I don't know anything about Medicare, you know. But I figured if I don't know, and if I can learn while I'm younger and help the older adults, or at least have a basic line of information, that's great for everybody. And that's why I think having you on the show is great too, because I'm sure there's a lot of questions that people have.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we were talking a little bit about this prescription scenario. And, you know, just because there's some folks that I know that, you know, had to get some prescriptions that was just astronomical. And it was like kind of eye-opening where it's like, whoa, I didn't realize that bills could be that high, you know, for medicine. Why is that? Because we were talking a little bit about that during the break.
So this year they did away with the donut hole, which meant that they lowered the prescription max out for seniors to $2,000. But when that happened, most of the plans came with drug deductibles for tier 3 and up. So if you had like Eliquis, which is a blood thinner, normally $47, you would have to pay the deductible $420 or whatever your plan said, plus the $47. So a lot of seniors were going January 1 to pick up that medicine, and they were just shocked at the price.
Yeah.
And then next month it would go down to the $47, and then when you hit the $2,000, then it would be $0. But if you make under $1,900 on your Social Security check, I could sign you up for extra help, which would help pay for the medications. They could get it, you know, for $4 or something really cheap. Or if they weren't able to do that, we could call into the carrier and then have a payment plan.
That is really fast. And this is something that I think a lot of people are running into. And it's good information to know, especially if you're, you know, kind of managing your parents a little bit and trying to figure out, whoa, what happened here? It'll all even out, hopefully, in the end, right?
Yeah.
Well, and when you're working with folks too, how important is it to know their lifestyle habits when you're getting to know them? Does that come into play when you're looking at Medicare plans or anything like that, and just their health, overall health?
Well, most of the plans they're trying to make them stay active by having gym memberships and stuff on their plan. So they're trying to keep them active. So it gets to be real important for their health in the long run.
When you're working with, when you're first talking to them, does like lifestyle come into play when you're looking at plans for them or anything like that? Or is it just because there's tiers and you just kind of follow the guidelines? Does that make sense? Like,
it kind of depends on. So if somebody has a chronic condition, it could be eligible for a chronic plan.
That's so fascinating to me. And this is why it's one of those things that kind of just blows my mind, because there's so many spokes on this Medicare wheel that you really have to be fine-tuned with.
Right, and it changes every year.
Well, and going back to what you said, where you're really, I mean, you're going back and you're reevaluating and getting your testing, right, once a year?
Yep.
And you are partnered up with quite a few different
carriers
too. Take me through some of those.
So there's United, Essence, Cigna, Aetna. I'm probably forgetting a bunch of them.
Oh, Humana's on there
Humana.
too. Yeah. Well, and see, that's good to know. And what does that mean too when you're having these carriers partner up with you? Is that just one of the providers for that patient potentially or that client?
Yeah, so I would look at all the plans. So you just put it into the program that we have called Simply Enroll, and it basically puts all their drugs and their doctors, and then it just basically tells me the best plan for them.
That's really
according
cool.
to their drugs.
Well, and we were just talking before the break, and during the first half of this segment, coming down the pipeline on June 25th, now that I remember the date correctly, you can be a part of really just a great hour of learning and getting some great questions asked. And now, when you're going over the different parts, the ABCs, if you will, of Medicare, what do they mean? I'm just going to ask you.
Okay, so you have to have Medicare A and B to be on a Medicare Advantage or a supplement plan, and then the Part D is for drugs.
Okay.
So
really cool. Well, and now going into this too, how important is it to kind of for your clients to know, really just having a little bit more information on this? How is it important for them to kind of study up too and realize what they have? Because it's great that you're doing this for us, and we know that you're knowledgeable, but should we be looking at our plans too, throughout the year?
Definitely be proactive.
Really?
For sure.
And now, when's the next hour opportunity coming up? Because June 25th's one, and you have one in July, don't you?
Yes, I do. It's July 30th.
And now, how do we RSVP or register?
You can call me to RSVP at my phone number, the 618-225-7967.
Really cool. And now, how many can you hold?
I don't know how many you can hold down there.
That's a good size. That's a good size room. Well, the point is, if you're a POA or if you're somebody that's turning 65, I mean, what better time to learn this before you actually need to enroll? You know, do you advise people that are in that kind of in between or transition stage to start looking at
it now? Yeah. Yes, definitely.
I could see why. And now, so Part A and B doesn't cover everything, correct? No. Like when it comes to like dental and things like that. Is that where the C comes in? So yeah, Part C has the Medicare Advantage that has the vision, dental, and hearing on it. That's okay. Now I'm starting to put all this together here. So you need to have A and B to get to C, correct? Correct. Okay. And now what would be the way that I don't qualify for B? If you don't qualify for B, so B is the one that you have to pay for. Everybody pays for it. Comes out of their check. Oh, okay. For Social Security. A is based on how many hours you've worked. That's interesting. How many hours do you have to work to qualify? I thought it was 10. I can't remember off the top of my head. No, but most people do qualify. Okay. And now, and then when you get to A and B, I am really starting. You were making this easy for me today, Jamie. Thank you so much. Because I was telling folks upstairs, I'm like, this is one interview I actually know zero bit of information on. And if I can learn it at 25, then I think folks can learn it at any time. You got a ways to go. Well, and now, whenever when's busy season for you? Oh, busy season, it starts in October. Whenever the open enrollment period happens? Yeah. Well, and now, can folks call you ahead of time and say, I know that there is a period right now where you can change over, correct, if you're not in the right plan? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, it's a special enrollment period right now, so usually you can qualify for that. And then October, it's annual enrollment period, and then that stops, and then in January, open enrollment goes until March. Oh, wow. So where you can switch from one Medicare Advantage to another Medicare Advantage. So it just keeps going. So if you're not in the right plan in January or February and you want to move, you can move. And you can do that now. Mm-hmm. And what's the phone number again to call you and set up that appointment?
618-225-7967.
Well, and now whenever what's important for your potential clients to know ahead of that first phone call or that first appointment? Is there anything that we need to kind of gather, any data or any type of information?
Yes, so they would need their Medicare number. Of course, I hope they remember their date of birth, mailing address, medications, doctors, stuff like that.
Very fascinating. And Jamie, before I let you go, we've been talking for 20 minutes already. You are annihilating this segment. I've been happy to have you in the studio because it's important information for folks to know.
Right.
Because I feel like it's one of those things, I keep going back to this, where we see it on TV, we hear the word, but we really don't study it. It's just something that we kind of know is there. And then when we turn 65 or we need it, it's like, oh, wow, we got a lot to learn really quickly.
And it changes all the time.
Gosh, I don't know how you stay up with it, to be honest with you.
Well, it gets difficult because it keeps changing it.
Well, and now, this isn't a political thing at all, but you have to kind of monitor what the budget, or what if they're going to change anything to Medicare, federally every year. In the budget.
Yeah, it kind of depends on who's in office. Sometimes they make cuts or changes to it.
That's very fascinating. This whole thing is. And now June 25th is that first opportunity. You can call and register today, or you can also set that time up in July, or just call Jamie now and say, hey, I need to learn and I'm ready to work with you.
Exactly.
Well, and Jamie, before I let you go, what's one or two more things you'd like for folks to know about what you're doing, your services, and just Medicare in general?
So it doesn't cost anything just to have a conversation to know if you're missing anything. That's the most important thing. I'm not going to pressure anybody into anything, but to just get the information is the best way to go about it, because you could be missing out on a lot of stuff.
Well, and I feel like there's people out there that definitely are in the area, and I really encourage you guys to pick up the phone and call Jamie, because I'm telling you, I learned so much in 20 minutes that I know that you're going to learn even more in this hour coming up on June the 25th.
Exactly.
Well, and again, you can register for this if you're a POA or if you're someone that's 64 or turning 65 next year. What is 64 kind of a good, if you're in that age range, to stop by and learn?
Yes, because they're getting ready to turn, so they'll get all their information ahead of time.
I am liking this. We're being proactive.
Exactly, proactive.
Well, and Jamie is a neighbor to us at the Riverbender building too. Can they stop by your office, or do you do pretty much virtual consultations?
Oh yeah, you can stop by. You can stop by. You can call me. Whatever you need to do.
Awesome. Well, Jamie, thank you so much for stopping by. This has been a great segment. We'll link everything in an article on RiverBender.com, and we'll make sure that you can get all the updated information on when you can be a part of these classes, these hour-long, really great learning experiences at June the 25th and in July. We'll take a quick break. More Daily Show comes right around the corner right after this in the heart of the 618.
Oh no, another bad headache?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting, and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today. You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Suck it in, suck it in, suck it in. If you're in Tintin or in Berlin, make it a spin move or else you'll win. And then begin to see what you're doing to me. This MTV is not for free. It's OPC is killing me. So desperately I'll sing the
9:42. Welcome back. A little bit behind baseball. Breaking the fourth wall. I was super nervous about that conversation. I really was, because I know nothing about Medicare. And I tried to look up some stuff, and I was like, you know what? Let's have Jamie inform me and educate me today. And she did awesome. I hope you guys give Jamie a call if you guys have any questions, or just be a part of those seminars on June the 25th and that one in July. Really great information from Jamie, and I hope you guys got something out of that conversation. Hey, a couple of 3 things for you. Just wanted to fill you in on this. This is from the Army Corps of Engineers. So wanted to fill you in that the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the St. Louis District, in partnership with the Wood River Drainage and Levee District, will be hosting a ribbon-cutting ceremony to mark the completion of the Upper Wood River Levee Under Seepage Design Deficiency Correction Project. Say that one 4 times fast. On June 20th at 9:30 a.m. at the East Alton No. 1 Pump Station in Alton. That's interesting. The event will recognize the successful federal-local partnership and celebrate a major milestone in flood risk management for the region. The project enhances the safety and reliability of these levee systems by addressing a known design deficiency and implementing features that control under seepage from the Mississippi River. These improvements include 80 new relief walls, wow, a drainage collection system, and an access road. That's impressive. Here's what the district had to say. The completion of the project represents a major step forward in safety, resilience, and public service. It's not just a celebration of concrete and relief wells, but a reduced flood risk, increased confidence, and a stronger future for the community. Now, the Wood River leveed area, including the Melvin Price Reach, was originally constructed in the 1950s and provides urban level of protection to approximately 31,000 residents, critical infrastructure, and 13,000 acres of property valued at $3.4 billion. The East Alton No. 1 pump station is located across Route 143 from No. 1 Loxendam Way, across from the National Great River Museum. So if you guys want to be a part of that, that's a pretty important milestone, and glad that the news team covered that one today. Also, I wanted to fill you in on one more news story out of Calhoun. This was submitted by the Calhoun Sheriff's Office, and they had a visit on Tuesday, June the 10th, from U.S. Space Force Second Lieutenant Wesley Green. Many of their residents recognize Second Lieutenant Wesley Green, who formerly served as a telecommunicator and dispatcher with the CCSO, and he was a volunteer driver for the Calhoun Volunteer Ambulance. Wesley started with the CCSO back in October of 2019 after graduating from Calhoun High School. Wesley continued his education while working for CCSO, earning his bachelor's degree in physics astronomy from SIUE in 2023. In January, Wesley left the CCSO to join the U.S. Space Force and attend officer training school in March of 2025, just a few months ago. Wesley graduated as a second lieutenant. When asked if he wanted to pass along a message, Wesley stated, "It was an absolute honor and a pleasure to serve Calhoun as a dispatcher and ambulance driver, and it's something that I always will be proud of." So everyone at CCSO is wanting to extend a big congratulations to Wesley. They submitted this, and they wish him the best of luck in his endeavors, and really just a great write-up. If you have time to see that one, highly encourage you to. Hey, also wanted to fill you in on some of the events happening in the 618. You know, we do that weekly event article, that weekly event go guide, if I can talk today, and really Father's Day fun and more. Here it is. You know, I really am excited about this one. The Taco Padre Weekend, okay? The ultimate way to celebrate Dad on June 14th and 15th at AP Cigar. From 12 to 3 p.m., the special event pairs cigars, tacos, and cold beverages in a festive atmosphere to honor fathers. For only $25, attendees will receive 2 cigars from AP, 3 made-to-order street tacos from Savory Little Things, and a refreshing drink from Poor Decisions. Tickets can be purchased in advance or simply show up. Spoil Dad with great food, cigars, and camaraderie. Plus, every ticket enters Dad into a drawing for a limited edition Father's Day collectible cigar from Punch, with winners announced daily at 3 p.m. It's a perfect way to create that lasting memory and really show Dad he's doing some good stuff. Hey, also in Edwardsville, Father's Day at the XO Lounge in Edwardsville offers a day of strength, self-care, and relaxation just for dads. On Sunday, June the 15th, you can celebrate the dads who do it all with an elevated experience featuring men's wellness and grooming services, cocktails, and just that great atmosphere. To make the occasion even sweeter, XO is running a special gift card promotion where purchasing $50 of gift cards earns you an additional $5 free. The event is a perfect way to show Dad some appreciation and give him some downtime he deserves. And then also, over here in Godfrey, the Del Mar Public House, my parents just ate there yesterday. I got to ask them how good it was. Father's Day, they want you there and invite guests to make reservations now for a delicious Father's Day celebration featuring 4 different burgers, including that popular Horseshoe, available all week long. On June the 15th, you can enjoy steak, pasta, and half-price beers throughout the day. And Del Mar Public House prides itself on fresh, scratch-made, chef-driven food that focuses on locally sourced ingredients, from slicing meats and shredding cheeses to hand-battering fish and making a falafel from dried chickpeas. Every dish is crafted with care and quality, so stop by on Father's Day and don't forget to tell them that RiverBender.com sent you over their way. There's so much more happening all weekend long. I really encourage you to go check out the Weekend Go Guide, but these things are a bit of a read. I'm just going to warn you now. This one was 15 minutes long. We got a lot of events happening in the 618. I'll pick out a few more for you. Hey, coming down the pipeline on Saturday as well, you can also stop by the Greater St. James Baptist Church. They're doing something really cool. Listen to this. So they're stopping by Alton Acres, and they're giving away free food and drinks all afternoon for an afternoon of food and fellowship. It's open to all ages. Plus, at Ted's Motorcycle World on Saturday, Bourbon and Bikes. How about this? It's going to feature a bourbon bar, mobile cigar lounge, barbecue by Dirty Dan's Meats, and a Harley Davidson showcase for a really great afternoon. Also, coming down the pipeline this Sunday as well, the Bethalto Farmers Market is going to be continuing, but listen to this. Celebrate Father's Day in style at Father's Day Beer Garden. It's going to be hosted on the Riverview Terrace of Pierre Marquette's Lodge in Grafton, where you can enjoy live music by Carl Mager, delicious food, and ice-cold beer. Oh, by the way, no admission fee required for that one. And then over here in Alton at Vera Lee's, they're also doing a really great Father's Day event. They're calling it Dad's Day Out. It's a free, family-friendly atmosphere with live music, entertainment, and just a great time. So there's so much to do for your dads in your life. Go check out that weekly event article today at RiverBender.com/news. Also, why don't you just wrap up your Sunday after Father's Day by heading over to Haskell Park in Alton, starting at 7 p.m. It's the children's concert. It's part of the series from the Alton Municipal Band every Thursday and Sunday through July, but this time around the horn on Father's Day. It'll be at Haskell Park at 7 p.m., that children's concert. It's always a fun one to be a part of, and I highly encourage you to attend. It's 9:50. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more Daily Show next.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone, and over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
There you are. 9:52. Welcome back to Our Daily Show on this Thursday morning. It continues on this 12th day of June. You know, really great conversation that I had with Charles Mooneyham. I want to play that for you because we got some time. We have a great conversation coming down the pipeline in the 10 o'clock hour where we're going to be hanging out with some... Get over here. Some great people in John Johnson and Professor Longhorn. Always excited to have them in the studio. And they're going to bring, I hope, some magic tricks because I want to be entertained today, and I know that you guys do too. But man, they're a hoot every time they're in here. We're going to be talking about their upcoming show at Old Bakery. And they're really doing some good stuff at Old Bakery when it comes to this show. But I had Charles Mooneyham on the show. Want to bring you back to it because tonight's Thursday night markets. I'm so excited to be down there. Didn't make it last week for the first one, but we are going to be down there tonight for a little bit. And I love seeing everybody out there and love just talking to the vendors and hearing the band play. But you know what I think is really cool about Night Market being in Sugar Alley now, right by Katz, and in that really, I'm just going to call it a multiplex space where you're connecting Shea, Maryland to Katz and all that great stuff, but also the businesses are open and they're staying open later. And a place that you can stop by, hopefully, is going to be Mooneyham Art. And really just a great conversation. To hear his story is just really inspiring. So we have some time until Professor Longhair and John Johnson join us in the studio. So why don't we do that? Get you excited for Night Market. Get you excited about some of the faces we're going to be meeting here in a couple of moments. So we'll do that. We'll take you there now, and I'll come back and chat with you in a few. Just amazing. Welcome back. 10:33, a little bit of change. Charles Mooneyham. Did I spell everything right? I didn't ask. I didn't ask.
Let me take a look here. Now I'm old man eyes here. All right.
I can't see.
Yeah, it looks like it's spelled correctly.
I botch everything. Like this has been. I didn't ask. I just said, CJ, you gotta be confident in yourself here.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, that's the only way to be.
You know, my name's Charles as well.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. We have Charles squared.
That's right.
Wonderful.
And only one Charles is in charge, and he's over there. Charles Mooneyham, we're now in State Street, and I was telling you beforehand, I love the fact that you're down here. I really do. It adds so much to the district to be a part of the Alton Main Street district, and you got great rivers and routes right there too. But you know, to add this section to the corridor and have you a part of that walking experience is perfect.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's really interesting how I ended up here. I actually had no intention of opening a gallery whatsoever. I just moved to Alton about 2.5 years ago. My spouse is a professional tarot card reader, so you know, spooky's good for business. So you know, hey, you know, so you know, and it's like, you know, I have ever since looked at my house and really saw what Alton was turning into. It's like quickly becoming like the next Eureka Springs, Arkansas. And if you look at Eureka Springs, Arkansas, they have every single feature that we have here. You know, their entire community is based around haunted ghost tours. They have a famous biker bar. They have Native American springs and stuff like that. And it's rich in history and culture. Yeah. And it sounds kind of oddly familiar to me. I mean, you know, I don't know. So, you know, and so when I first moved...
They even got a wedge building down there.
I know, right?
It's incredible.
It's a neat place. If you've never been, it's about it's just the other side of Branson. It is an amazing little staycation if you want to go far but not go too far.
Yeah.
So or you know, now just come to Alton. You know, hey, because it's here. The culture's here, and interestingly enough, since I've started this journey, there's like over 20 famous artists living in Alton, and nobody really knew each other. It's really bizarre, but here we are. And but anyway, I digress. I said I recently moved here about 2.5 years ago. When I moved here, I wasn't making art. I've only been back in the art world for about 1 year and 2 months.
Fascinating.
I had previously worked for the last 20 years in behavioral health, most recently for the suicide hotline.
Wow.
And prior to that, I worked with kids with autism for like 15 years. So, you know, the last almost 20 years of my life has been focused on behavioral health. Mm-hmm. Now, rewind in my past life, I was actually a hippie artist then, you know, so that's what my original degree was in. You know, in 2013, I went back to school for behavioral neuroscience and started, you know, going down that path. During the pandemic, working for the suicide hotline, you know, 988 went live. We were also taking 911 calls, veteran crisis line, you know, and just to deal with the stress, I started painting again to cope with the stress of the job.
100%.
And, I started out with just some pop art paintings of doing like horror icons or, whatever I wanted. And I started putting them out on Facebook and, they were selling. And I'm like, oh, okay, so there's an interest here. And then, I decided I used to do art shows back in the day, and I had all this photography laying around, and I never really showed my photography before. And I'm like, let's put it in and see what happens. It was a joke. I got in. And then 2 months later, I had a solo show at the Renaissance Hotel for photography. And I'm a painter. And I'm like, what is going on here? Okay, I'm going to run with it.
That's cool.
Then I decided that I was going to leave my job and just become a full-time hippie artist weirdo, and I couldn't think of a better place than Alton to do that. So I ultimately wanted my studio in Alton, but finding property was challenging at that time because I didn't know anybody in town yet. So I rented literally the porch of a building directly across the street from Josephine's over in Godfrey, and quickly painted myself out of room. By the end of, I'd say by August, I was in 7 different galleries in 2 states. And I was like, I need a bigger space. I need to get out of here. So then I moved my studio over to the Milton Schoolhouse. Started setting up there. And, that desire to continue to give back was still tugging at me. And, that's when I produced the Alton Art Expo, which was a benefit for Centerstone, which ironically is the last time I think I saw you. I was
Okay, all making sense.
The dude with a mohawk throwing out the first pitch.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay, it's all coming back to me now. I feel like Celine Dion.
So I produced Alton Art Expo, but the last thing I wanted to do was, produce an art fair where, the artists donate their work and give it away, and that's how money is generated. Yeah. So what I actually tried to do is kind of unheard of. So, it was a benefit for Centerstone to raise money. It was also to destigmatize access to behavioral health care, and then also allow artists an opportunity to make a living, and also show how art can be healing, so to speak. And, it was a first-year event. I did it in 3 months to build it out. And we had, over the course of the day and a half, because it was a 2-day event, we probably had almost 2,000 people come through.
Are you serious?
Yes. And as an entire group with all the vendors, I went through and interviewed everybody afterward. We did about $30,000 in art sales.
Are you
on top of the money and food that we generated for Centerstone?
That's incredible.
On a first-year event in Alton. So that told me right then and there, all right, we are on to something.
That's so cool.
Ideally, I produced one last art show at the Milton, and then I started to move downtown. And that show is still continued. So the show that started there is still up at the State Street location at 305 State Street. And it, the idea is I'd like to eventually bring the Alton Art Expo downtown, turn it into a street festival.
That'd be so cool.
And I want to expand the vendor list outside of just visual artists into musicians, have a booth and sell your wares, authors, poets, writers, theater groups, comedy groups, set it all up. And of course, I'd likely be keeping Centerstone as the fiduciary because I'm very passionate about their cause.
Me too. They're on the show twice a month for a reason. What they do, and really just from all aspects of behavioral health care and substance use disorder treatment, is just huge.
It's fantastic. And I love their wraparound approach. They're not just treating the person, they're not just treating the symptoms, they're treating the whole person, which also includes barrier removal, access to resources, etc.
I love them that they help their families too, and they try to get their family members on the same page.
Well,
that's so huge.
It's all about community, and that's what we're really trying to do here. And it's like, one of those situations to where the reason why it's so important for me is because, behavioral health is something that I myself have struggled with, and it's been rich in my family. My mom died by suicide. My aunt died by suicide. My half-brother died by suicide, and I'm an attempt survivor. And one of the things that how I got partnered up with Centerstone is they were really intrigued by my story, and I'm actually going to be their keynote speaker at Life Story, which is their 5K run.
In Marion, correct?
Yes, correct. I wish it was the one in Florida.
Yeah, come on now, Aaron. What are we doing?
I know, right? Yeah, I got you. I didn't get my jersey. All right.
I'll work on that.
Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, I'm really excited about that, and to destigmatize access to behavioral health and have more candid conversations with people about it's okay to not be okay. And there are organizations out there like Centerstone that can show you how to be okay when you're most definitely not.
Yeah.
And it's kind of one of those things to where if you look at my life, 20 years ago, I'm sitting there and, things are not well. And I was in an active attempt, and I had called a suicide hotline and cussed them out and hung up on them. I was in crisis.
Right.
So the next thing I know, the police come knocking on my door, bang, bang, bang. And I got a lovely free 7-day stay at Del Mar Metro State Hospital. Completely complimentary. And, but anyway, when I got out, that's when I decided to really make life changes. And, I always tell people my entire time working in applied behavioral analysis with kids with autism, those kids did more for me than I ever could do for them, and I was like, maybe I'll find an easier job as I'm getting older, and it can be very physically demanding. So I'll go for the suicide hotline. Not easier, especially when 988 went live and then the pandemic hit. It was just like, it really made it brazenly obvious exactly what kind of crisis that we as a society are in.
100%.
And, I can think of no better way to lift up a community than through the empowerment of arts.
Yeah.
And, a couple of the things that I'm trying to do besides getting the expo moved downtown is I'm trying to put together a project by a famous artist named Craig Downs. He is internationally known. He lives in Portland part of the time and then down in San Pancho when it's cold. And he's the founder of the Wall Together Now project, which has occurred all over the United States. And he paints these big giant murals and puts numbers on them. And the entire community comes down, gets assigned a color and a team. And it is a community project because the ideology behind it is team building, community building, and it's turning community into an asset.
Yeah.
Because people are going to take better care of things that they were a part of.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, and see, that's right. You hit on something with art and with entertainment, I think that's so important that we always forget about. Where every time you turn on your TV, no matter what, unless you're like me and you got your YouTube TV pretty much figured out where you can remove channels and you can just be in your own space and be happy. But I mean, there's so much stress in the world. And whether or not it's financial or it's emotional stress or it's internal stress, mental health, there's so many times where you can see folks that are having just maybe you're watching your best friend for a couple of days or your significant other for a few weeks, just kind of not having the best days, just going rough for them. Right. But the moment that you can see somebody that's maybe had a little bit of a rougher time come out of their shell and really enjoy and immerse themselves in entertainment and culture and arts, it does more than for me in my opinion, just from what I've gone through, done more for me personally than really sitting down and talking, because it's just feeling the community and feeling the presence of a good atmosphere. Well,
it's that enrichment.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, there's a meme that's really popular on Facebook. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. And it shows a picture of McDonald's in 1994 and a McDonald's in 2025, and they're side by side. And the McDonald's in 1994 is red and blue,
right,
and clowns, and now the 2025 it's gray and straight lines, and it looks like a prison.
It's like Very Odd Parents. Have you ever seen that show?
I have not.
Oh, you got to watch it. The greatest episode of cartoons ever made, and it was for kids, but it showed what it's like to become a blob and become grayscale and become merged into the fabric of society, and everyone turns gray, and it's so crazy in 15 minutes to watching it now. I'm like, this makes sense. It's a snow globe effect.
Gotcha. Yeah. And so, above and beyond just the enrichment of how, art and culture can benefit somebody, it can also, just the act of making it on a neurological perspective, can reduce symptoms associated with PTSD, depression, anxiety. There are many clinical trials that have evidenced, and been replicated of the benefits of the healing power of arts.
Wow. You got a moment to stick around for me?
Oh, certainly.
I got to pay one last bill of the day. It's 10:45, a little bit of change. More of this great conversation comes right around the corner with the new neighbors of RiverBender.com, Mooneyham Art Collective, right after this.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain, I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Have a rash, pink eye, or urinary tract infection and need care now? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Start a virtual visit 24/7, whenever and wherever you need it. It's just that easy. osfoncall.org/virtual visit.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
You wanna stay out with your fancy friends? I'm telling you, it's gotta be the end. Don't bring me down.
10:48, welcome back. Daily Show on this Monday morning. All right, I told you I bought something in the interview. I'm just going to break the ice now.
Okay.
Mooneyham Arts.
Yeah, Mooneyham Art.
I don't know why I did art.
Yeah. So basically, Mooneyham Art it's not an artist collective. It is a curated gallery space. I am creating an environment for intermediate emerging artists to be able to show with regional, national, and international artists. While I spent the last 20 years, running off trying to save the world, the rest of my friends were out becoming, famous artists and rock stars. And it's like, so now I'm back to the arts, and they're like, come on, Charles, catch up. Where have you been, bro? And then I'm like, I call up some of my friends. I'm like, you remember when we did that show in 1990? You kind of owe me a favor. So, I'm going to call in some favors, right? So my current international artist is that Craig Downs gentleman I told you about, who is currently putting together the Wall Together project. And he does that all over the country, and he shows all over, and he's done wine labels, hospitals. And then, I'll find emerging local talent that is exceptionally talented. Yeah. So like Natalie Wellborn out of Godfrey. We got Rhonda Willman out of Brighton. We've got Mary Berry from Jersey County. And what I'm doing is I'm taking my platform, and I'm taking emerging artists with exceptional talent and pairing them in exhibits next to national and international artists, because it's kind of an incubator for their careers to launch them forward. They might not otherwise have an opportunity this early in their career to show with some of these names, and let alone do it in a more rural community. Yeah. And it's kind of like when they did like that Jim Henson exhibit. They didn't put that in New York or Chicago where they could have. Right. They put it in a small town, and the museum that held that exhibit, they were like, this was the largest event we've ever had in history. And I think that's key right now, because often at times these rural communities are often what's overlooked. In budgeting, access to care, cultural enrichment. you know?
Well, you're right. And I think that sometimes, especially when it comes to the cultural enrichment, whether or not it's, entertainment or, music, art, it all falls in the same category. But a lot of times, like, you're right, people will live for that. Like, if you know that, hey, John Smith is investing, in the town to bring this really great event coming together. It's going to be a weekend of art, or it's going to be a weekend of live music, or it's going to be a couple of nights of just, shopping experiences. People are going to come out for that, especially in communities like you said. They don't get that very often.
Exactly.
It's so important. Well, so you saw the spot on State Street. It was a quick turnaround. I know that.
Yeah.
Was it just one of those things where you saw it and said, let's go ahead and do it? Or what was that final conversation?
Well, what had happened was, after I had got done with the expo, I was helping out the Jacoby Arts Center. They were going to paint their floors. And I was like, no, don't paint the floors. So I was like, rent the sanders and I'll do it. And I'm thinking, because, I just got done with this event. I'm producing another event and I'm moving next door. So, of course, let's refinish some floors while we're at it. Yeah. And the funny thing about it is the last time I did floors, I was like 30 years old, okay? I'm going to be 50 this year.
No kidding.
Yeah. So
Man, how do I learn your secrets? I'm 25 and I got I'm like a Honda Accord, a lot of city miles, and it's showing.
Yeah, well, but it'll turn 300. It's a Honda Accord, man. Right. Come on. It is definitely not a Kia.
That's right.
But, so anyway, I started sanding their floors, redoing their floors, and, I was like looking for a space, and, I emailed Rachel, and then Rachel emailed Sarah, and then Sarah got a hold of me and said, I know this place that would be perfect. And it's right across the street from the new Jacoby, which was great. And then you got Bluff City Bazaar right around the corner. Yeah. There's another gallery getting ready to open up in Alton. It's super top secret. Nobody knows about yet, but they just signed a lease on a space. It's going to be more of a photography gallery.
That's cool.
Which, how many photographers are Alton, for crying out loud? And there's no photography gallery. Come on.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no. And then, I got in touch with the landlord, and he loved my vision and what I'm trying to do. And, I moved into the space. Originally, I was going to take both, but then I just decided to take the one side for now, just to kind of let the dust settle, because it's been a busy year. So I started building out the space in between doing all the other things, and it got to the point to where I was down to the last coat that needed to go on the floor, and Rachel's like, Charles, I think you're going to fall down. We'll take care of the last coat. And I'm like, thank you, because I'm like trying to get my store open. So it's like, thank you. I think it was like, Charles is turning pale. Like, what's going on? So, I have direct thanks to, the Jacoby Art Center and Sarah McGibney from What's Up? Alton Main Street for helping me find the space, and I've gotten tons of community support. It's been fantastic.
Well, it's just cool to see that, and really just to hear your story too a little bit more and get to know you. And that's why I like having these conversations, and we're doing the small business spotlights this next couple of months, because it's good to meet the people that are behind it, and no one's ever going to know unless we talk about it. Just the community side of things, like helping Jacoby with the floors, and having that collaboration with Sarah and Rachel and Centerstone and all these different pieces. It makes it such a, I think, not more important, because it always is important, but I think it puts a bigger spotlight on all the pieces of a puzzle that it takes to truly get something to go. Yeah. And just to hear that is really fascinating.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it's like the thing that's I think the reason why it's finally all coming together and it's finally working, because I know a lot of these pioneers in Alton have been swinging an uphill battle this whole way. Right. And now all of a sudden it's finally starting to work. And I think it comes right back to community, because we're all willing to play together now. Yeah. We're helping each other, and community lifts a society up.
You have to be the tide.
Exactly.
Well, because we're running out of time a little bit, let's go through the hours of operate. When can we come in and see you? How does this work?
Oh, certainly. I am open Thursday through Sunday. I open up at noon every day. I stay open late depending on what's going on in the city. I'm open late for night markets. Every 6 to 8 weeks, I'll be producing artist receptions, which are free to the public. The first one is July 5th from 5 to 9. To be artist Marty McKay and her iconic eagle photographs.
She is the best, isn't she, at taking those?
Oh, definitely. And then the David Bailey, the sculptor who's hiding in the woods back there. If you've ever driven through Alton and you see these random giant sculptures, I found him. And
no way!
And we're going to try to get him placed throughout the city, which is something that I know that Sarah's been working on too. And he's also a phenomenal jeweler, so I'm also now carrying his sterling silver high-end jewelry in the gallery as well. So he will be the other featured artist July 5th, and that reception's from 5 to 9, and we'll have free pastries, free beverages.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
It's just amazing because, we, at the show, I go in to talk to different youth groups and stuff that I do sometimes, and it's always just trying to express to them and stress that Alton has all these really cool things. The Riverbend region has the things that you're looking for elsewhere, and it's good now to see this kind of wave of momentum for them, and whether it's in arts or entertainment and culture, or if it's just in what they want to do in business, it's all coming together, and I think it's going to retain the younger people, and these initiatives and these events that you're putting on help with that immensely.
Well, I think the important thing is I think that our local government is starting to realize, of course, sports brings a lot of tourism in, and we need to talk about that because, it's what brings the money to the community. Yeah. But second to tourism is art.
100%.
I mean,
100%. There's no argument
sports,
with it.
Second to that is
And I think it goes hand in hand because I think you can't really have a successful city with only having one of the two. I think you have to have both.
Yeah.
Well, and now going forward, what's your plans for the summer? Is there anything that's on your mind when it comes to? I know you're wanting to bring the Art Expo. Is that a next year thing for you?
Yeah. Well, the Art Expo will be next year, and thank you for that wonderful segue. So you've got this amazing parking lot attached to the building that is also my studio. It would, after you guys are closed, it's empty. It would be really nice if I could start, maybe producing, some art events in the RiverBender parking lot and maybe team up with you guys.
That'd be cool. We have to get you connected to the building owners.
Yeah.
John and Mark, we'll get you connected with them. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
And see, that's what I think is so, we talk to business owners that have been here for 40 years and all that, and hearing how the old school way of doing things, of working together and being a team, it's coming back. It's so cool. And Charles, before I let you go, what's the best way to stay up to date on all the information you have? I know you have a Facebook and a website.
Yes, certainly.
What's the most updated?
Probably the easiest thing to do would be to go to the website, because the website is landing on the brand. It'll take you everywhere.
Yep.
So mooneyhamart.com. And you can click the Facebook link. There is a upcoming show list, as well as information about the expo, as well as a little bit of everything, really. And that'll take you to our Facebook page, where you can always follow us, and that is updated daily.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, thanks for having me so much.
Well, anytime you want to come back on, please feel free to do so.
Oh, excellent.
We're
car accident at the ER. They gave me a prescription of hydrocodone, and over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job. There's nothing holding me back anymore.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Have a rash, pink eye, or urinary tract infection and need care now? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Start a virtual visit 24/7, whenever and wherever you need it. It's just that easy. osfoncall.org/virtual visit.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back. 1021. Daily Show. Man, I'm getting tired already. 78 degrees in downtown Alton. I hope you guys had a great time listening to that conversation with Charles Mooneyham. What a story. Man, I like that shirt John's wearing out there. I might need to pick up I like the shirt. Hey, a couple of three things for you before we bring those guys in. A little bit of an updated information on that Alton Municipal Band concert tonight and on Sunday. So it's called Children at Heart, and they're sure to enjoy week 2 of the Alton Municipal Band's 135th. Sorry, guys. I'm still having trouble breathing. Summer of concerts in the parks, as well as the almost world-famous children's concert. It's going to kick off at Riverview tonight, and it will be at Haskell on Sunday. So selections for the children's song include, beloved Disney songs, and really what I think's great too is they have thematic music invoking images of train rides to faraway places will delight both the young and old. So the band, directed this week by David Drillinger, will perform tonight at 7:30 at Riverview Park, and then on Sunday at 7 p.m. at Haskell Park, and it will be held in that picturesque setting in front of Lucy Haskell Playhouse. So listen to this. Blazer, the mascot from Lewis and Clark, will be present for photos and fun, and Blazers also leads the weekly park parade, which is a municipal band tradition. Families are encouraged to bring a picnic, bring lawn chairs, and enjoy a wonderful night of music under the Alton sunset. The Alton Municipal Band concerts are free and open to the public. The Alton Municipal Band is continuing their 135-year tradition. That is just incredible. 135 years, and we really encourage you to stop down. It's a great time if you haven't been to a concert yet that they put on. They're wonderful musicians, and really just something you want to be a part of. And then one final thing for you today is this is a pretty interesting thing. This was submitted by Lewis and Clark too. So join the National Great Rivers Research and Education Center and Greg for their upcoming seed series, Garden Guidance, Reframing Our Relationship with Invasives and Empowering Conversation with botanist Wendy Applequist. The event takes place from 10 a.m. until noon on Tuesday, June the 24th at the Jerry F. Costello Confluence Field Station in East Alton. This thought-provoking series features Applequist, who is an associate scientist at the Missouri Botanical Gardens and co-author and the editor of Love Them to Death, Turning Invasive Plants into a Local Economic Opportunity. Applequist will lead an enriching discussion on how to manage and rethink invasive plants like honeysuckle, white mulberry, and more. While these species pose serious ecological threats, Applequist presents a nuanced approach. What if we could use traditional knowledge and creative solutions to extract value while encouraging their removal? Part of the seed series, this is part of the seed series. That didn't make sense. The event combines science, storytelling, and sustainability to create a meaningful community learning experience. It's free and open to all ages. Registration's not required. Once again, that presentation is going to be on the 24th of June. It's a Tuesday from 10 a.m. until noon at the Jerry F. Costello Confluence Field Station in East Alton. It's 10:25. Hey, while I have you, I want to fill you in on our great friends over at Sparks Junk Removal and Hauling. Denise Sparks really is the best, and I just love all the work that she puts in for the community. Your junk is their business, and that's something you need to know. If you call 618-781-1407, that's 618-781-1407, you can start reclaiming your space today. There's so many different nuances when it comes to Sparks Junk Removal. They do commercial, they do residential junk removal. If you have that hot tub that's been around since 1994 and the pump stopped working in 95, get rid of it. If you have all that, seriously, let's just go down the gauntlet. The Bowflex you used once, or the treadmill that still has clothes on it, all that stuff. Get it out. I mean, you got mother-in-laws coming, father-in-laws coming, you got the in-laws, you got other family members coming for summer. They don't need to see it. They don't want to see it. So you call Denise Sparks, you call the Queen of Junk, and you say, I need to reclaim my space, and she'll take care of it. Appliances and furniture, light demolitions, construction debris, they got you covered. Plus their weekly trash service where you see those purple and yellow trash cans popping all up throughout the 618. That's because they're mating like bunny rabbits. I'm serious. It's because Denise Sparks is growing that quickly. You can call for trash or just go to sparksjunkremoval.net. That's sparksjunkremoval.net to see all their services like dumpster rental, that weekly trash service, demolitions, and more. We'll take a quick break, but don't forget to tell the Queen of Junk that you know who sent you over her way.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car. I have a job. There's nothing holding me back anymore.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Alrighty. Yeah. We're back. 10:29, and always great to
wave at yourself.
The Magical Mayhem Show coming down the pipeline. 2 short days away. We're here.
Oh my gosh! Only 2 days? I better get busy.
Wow. Professor Longhair, John Johnson.
I'm John.
That's Professor Longhair. They both have longer hair. Mm-hmm. Just wanted to clarify that for the audience.
Long and luxurious.
So, how are we feeling for this? How are tickets looking, and how's the show coming together?
I think it's going very well. The tickets are still some available, but we have, I don't know, probably about 3/4 of the tickets sold.
Good.
So far, yeah.
Wow.
And we've actually done something special, too.
Really? Mm-hmm. Fill me. Is this what I saw the other day on your Facebook where we could win a pretty cool prize?
2. Bingo.
Two.
Counting cool. 2 prizes.
That's awesome. Fill us in on this. This is really exciting.
Okay. Well, one of them is...
We have a certificate to win a free 30-minute balloon art presentation, which means you have a baby shower, a wedding reception, a bachelor party.
Who knows? That'd be fun.
That might be. We could do some things with that.
Can you make a gerbil? No.
Birthday party. Speaking of which, birthday parties, and basically I come to your event, do 30 minutes of balloon art, can make any... We actually did balloon art at a Dolly Parton Festival at Prairie Inn.
Oh, cool.
And we made a guy into Dolly.
Oh, nice. Now that's art. That is art.
That is art.
We've all seen the animals. I want to see some real art like Dolly Parton's bosom. That's good.
Yeah.
You would.
It was voluminous.
It was. And he was very proud of it.
Oh, yeah. He showed it off to everybody.
Who wouldn't if you had him, you know?
If you had that. So we can do anything with the balloon art within reason.
Fair.
And so this will be a giveaway. And then John came up with something pretty cool too.
All right. And from me, my contribution to our drawing is a certificate for a free 30-minute close-up magic show.
That's cool.
So thank you.
Actually.
So if you're having any kind of event, party, whatever, it's totally adaptable by me. And I show up and do 30 minutes of fun, entertaining, close-up magic. You know, stuff that like happens right under your nose, in your hands, all that kind of good stuff, using common objects.
That's super cool. Now, how do we win?
A drawing.
Well, you have to be at the show to win.
Step one, get tickets.
Yes. Buy tickets. Get your tickets, and then at the end of our show, we will have a drawing.
That is awesome. How did you guys come up with that idea? Because that's really cool, especially like you said for birthday parties. And not right now, but if something's coming down the pipeline in the summer, man, that's always a really cool thing to add to any event.
Yeah, and anytime you want. We don't have a time frame set on it, so
right.
If it's within the next 10 years, because I don't know how long I'm gonna last. But
man, you're optimistic.
But hang on to these and use them when you're ready.
I love it. Within 10 years before someone dies here, you know?
We're getting older.
Oh, man. Younger. I love
Not
this.
valid after death.
We should put that on there.
We might handwrite that.
Well, and I just think it's really cool that you guys are doing this. And I was seeing the post about the show, and I think Old Bakery's a hell of a venue. I mean, the space they got's cool. The vibes they got, the atmosphere, it's perfect for a show like this. And now, is this going to be an all-ages show? Is it 18 and over, 21 and over with the beer?
Well, I mean, there are, with the ticket purchase, 2 drinks are included. Now, it is an all-ages show, but there aren't any discounted tickets for kids. Mm-hmm. So, I mean...
Well, can I throw this out there for the parents with kids that want to go? Just drink your kids' beer. I mean, they get 2, technically, so you get 4.
Technically, you get 4.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they could cash that
Or the kids could get sodas.
Yeah.
Oh.
They can get a drink of their own.
Yeah, so the room will be set. It's in their event room. And, of course, everything will be set up there. The chairs, there'll be a bar inside the event room. Folks can always show up early and have some of the delicious Old Bakery Beer Company food. Mm-hmm. Lauren Patton there at Old Bakery has just been wonderful. It's been great working with her. It was really kind of an easy sell, if you will, because I've done some close-up magic for an event there before that Lauren had at Old Bakery. So when I approached her with this, she was all for it. So, I mean, we greatly appreciate that because we're always looking for more venues to bring our shows to.
Well, and honestly, this is a type of show that you don't see very many of around the area, and it's such a cool one. When you were out at Breakfast with Santa last year, I had more fun than anybody else watching you. And now, take me through, is this going to be a close-up magic show for you here, or how's that work?
No, at the Old Bakery, this is our what would be considered our full evening stage show.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, so it's a stand-up show. It's all stage style magic, and it's we'll each do a 20-minute set twice, but each set is different. So
yeah,
and then our performance styles are so much different, so you get a lot of variety within what we're doing for Old Bakery
for
that night.
$35. That's a hell of a deal when you're getting what's 20 times, so for 80 minutes of entertainment, plus you get 2 beers with this, or 2 drinks for $35. And you have a chance to win. That's the best part of this. I think it's so creative and so unique that you're doing this. And what day is this on? Hold on.
Saturday.
Saturday.
I think evening. I want to win the certificate. And I want to see it perform too, don't get me wrong, but I want to win the certificate. Well, and now what I think's cool for the audience to know is, I mean, you guys have been at this for quite some time now and really have honed in on the craft. I mean, you got 50 years under your belt and you got 24, don't you?
Professionally, but I did start about the same age as John did.
Oh,
I was 12 years old doing it. My grandfather was a magician, and he was in Toastmasters, which is a club that teaches and practices speech competition. And he thought, well, what would be a cooler way to demonstrate what I'm speaking about than to present magic? Mm-hmm. So I was the only out of 7 grandkids that picked up the mantle And he left me a box when he passed away. There was a box with my name on it, full of ropes, coins, felt or silks, foam balls. I didn't know what to do with. So in the corner of the box, there was a weathered yellow card with the name of a magic shop in downtown Decatur. I went down there, knocked on the door, no one answered. So I'm like, well, this is defunct.
Yeah.
And I walked away, and this little old guy, what do you want? And I said, are you still open for magic? And he said, no. And I said, okay, well, my grandpa sent me here, apparently. And he goes, looked at the card and said, get in here.
No way.
Wait.
That is incredible.
Pulled me into the shop, and I brought the box, and I said, I don't know how to use any of this. So he started tutoring me.
That isn't, what a hell of a story right there. That's incredible.
I know, I'm amazed.
Have you heard that before?
No.
Oh, well, we're all learning today.
Yeah.
That is super cool. And
this is an educational program today.
that is sponsored by NPR, and we'll be back after the. No, but I think it's so cool, man, that you got into it that way, and to have a note left for you to go to the shop, and just the circumstance of that is pretty damn incredible.
It was pretty cool. It was like a Wizard of Oz. She didn't come in here. Wait, you're Dorothy? I was Dorothy that day.
Pretty exclusive club, I'd say.
Pretty exclusive club. But to your earlier answer, one idea that sparked the certificates was we have some amazing friends, family, other magicians that we work with, a great group of supporters.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that we want to do with these certificates is build beyond our core and let their friends in on the secret.
Yeah.
Let their family members know that we're out here. And the best way is to show up somewhere. That's kind of how we got the Prairie Inn gig.
Yeah.
We were having lunch and started doing magic tricks for each other. The table next to us called us over.
Yeah.
Can you do some tricks for us?
Yeah, they're like, well, what's going on there? You guys, what's this? What's this? And so we started doing things for them and stuff, and they were having a blast. And the bartender noticed, the other patrons noticed. And the funny thing, as it turned out, then after we were doing some things for them for a while, then one of the guys looks at me and he goes, did you go to Edwardsville High School? I'm like, yes, I did, because I was from out in Dorsey, and I got bussed in. He goes, we went to high school together. I was like, Bart? He goes, yeah. I'm like, oh my goodness.
That's cool, man.
I had not seen him since high school. So it's, wow, you never know what's going to happen.
Is that a mouse?
This is the third member of the Magical Mayhem Troupe.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
There's
a mouse in here.
This is Magic Mouse.
Magic Mouse is here.
He's pretty.
So mice are
He doesn't want to leave.
pretty happy where he is.
Yeah.
So mice are, I find, really nice to work with. I have a friend who has a rabbit snowball, and he uses snowball in his magic act. But he said rabbits are a lot of work. They take some room. They don't smell so great. Mice are a breeze. So put your hand out, sir.
Okay. I have never held a mouse before.
You are about to.
Oh my
There
God.
we go.
Oh my God.
Magic
Now, as long
Mouse.
as he doesn't poop on you.
Oh my God. I've
No
never-
little pellets in your hand?
No, that was cool.
One of the biggest draws after my magic show is I usually have a line of 50 to 100 kids that have their hand out, want to hold the mouse. The mouse is trained, doesn't bite.
That's what surprised me. I thought I was going to get nibbled on.
Nope.
That's that's incredible.
They are wonderful pets. They cost less than $8. And this mouse...
It's a better, cheaper pet.
Well, and for my smaller magic tricks,
Yeah.
I can use this mouse in many situations. And
He looks like he loves you.
she does.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, so I got all female mice. Males are a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
And so females are really easy to work with. They got a nice personality. And like I said, I can get 100 kids lined up. And each one of them will get to hold the mouse. And they love it. I mean, that's the draw at the end of the show is if you're good and listen to the show, you can hold magic mouse.
That is so cool. I love when you guys come in because you always bring something cool. This is incredible. You guys got a moment to take a quick break and we'll come back and have some fun?
Yeah.
Hey, it's 10:41. We got mice in here. We got balloons. We got a lot of things getting ready to happen. So why don't you hang out for a couple of minutes and we got to pay some bills, thank some sponsors, and we'll come back with more next.
Oh no, another bad headache?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and it will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganess Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganess Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
And this is what she said, oh, there ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed. There ain't nothing in this world for free. I know I can't slow down.
All right. 10 that was the fastest commercial break I think I've ever been a part of. Normally those are like the Green Mile, and like people get pissed watching them. It's like, how do you think I feel in here? You know, I got to sit here through them. With that being said, there's a lot of fun in here. The mouse is incredible because we were talking, and you're 100% right. The mice are, you know, a lot of times used for food and for snakes. And when you get to bring one out and create a character with it and give it a show, and this is just badass, man. I love it. I love every bit of this. So what do we got in front? There is a balloon in front of us. Oh, it's a rat.
Well, like I said, I brought these balloons. I'm putting the professor on the spot here because he does the balloon portion. I mean, I do some balloons too, but my specialties are snakes and swords. No.
Now, so is all this going to be a part of the Magical Mayhem show?
Well, we have some surprises.
We do. We have a big surprise for you today. About... So I am the kind of magician that does maybe half a day or half an hour of magic, and then lots of times I stay and do balloon shapes. So I kind of really learned how to make balloon shapes from a Walmart bag of twist and shape balloons.
No kidding.
I didn't know how. Someone said, you know, oh, you're doing magic. Can you do a balloon thing for us? So I ran to Walmart, bought the bag, got the instruction sheet out, and learned how to do 4 or 5. I did a puppy dog, I think a swan, a couple things like that. And then I thought, well, heck, I have an imagination. I can make all kinds of stuff. So I made basketball games, volleyball games, soccer games, baseball. I do fishing pole with a fish attached to it, suits of armor, balloon armor.
Oh my gosh.
All kinds of whatever you can think of. And I thought, I was sitting there one day thinking about John and I's show together, the Mayhem show. And I said, John, you know, I do about 5 magic tricks that involve balloons, putting nails through a balloon and
without it popping, by the way.
Without it popping.
That's a good caveat.
Yeah, that helps. And making a bottle appear from a balloon and things like that. So I thought, what would you think if we did a magic show that incorporated balloons? Part of it would be balloon demonstrations. Mm-hmm. Part of it would be bringing kids up to play basketball with balloons.
Yeah.
You know, I hold up a hoop and they can dunk. And then move into the magic portion where we can both do magic tricks that involve balloons. Mm-hmm. And so I said, I just can't think of a name. So John, the guy who came up with Magical Mayhem, looks at me and goes, how about balloonigans?
I like it.
Cool.
I like it.
Because we are kind of hooligans.
Yeah.
We cause mayhem. So
Yeah.
it worked. And now I added blast because a lot of balloons blow up in our act for excitement and energy. So Balloonigans Blast is the name of our program. No one's doing it that we know of.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably anywhere. Lots of magicians do a magic show and make balloons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we're not aware of anybody who's incorporating this into a giant balloon show.
This is so cool.
With magic, with kids being up on stage, adults
Oh, sure.
can
Yeah.
get up on stage
Yeah.
and do these things. And so we're really excited. And I'm going to give away a secret for you.
Thank you.
I'm doing a mini Balloonigans Blast second set Saturday
Oh, cool.
to give everyone a taste.
That is awesome, man. How do you so you put nails through balloons?
Yes. Generally, it's all physics.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know much.
It's all
Man, you
illusion.
should have taken that and run with it.
But as all magicians, we play off the illusion as something that could be something else.
Yeah.
So I always tell kids, well, if the molecules in the nail are aligned correctly with the molecular structure of the latex in this particular balloon, and I wet it and put a little water on it, then the nail slides between the molecules, and that's the whole story.
Oh my God.
And they come up to me later and say, my science teacher says you're wrong.
Well, your science teacher's not fun.
Yeah. So
You should
there
say,
you go.
Obviously, your science teacher's not a magician.
There you go. You know, and now the mouse. What's the mouse's name?
This is Magic Mouse.
Okay, so Magic Mouse is the name of her.
Magic Mouse.
And the Magic Mouse house.
And I actually have a big 10-gallon tank. She can run around and water tube is in there and her wheel, and so she's all set up there at home.
Man, that's so cool. So what else did you guys bring into the studio today? I'm seeing money. I see a Molotov cocktail.
Yes. Well, he's making you a shape, so we'll see what he's coming up
I'm
with
excited. I have no talent.
The squeaking is the best part.
Well, honestly, I'm excited, man, because I can't do a darn thing with balloons. I mean, I can't. I've tried. I thought, I'll get the twist ones too, because I thought I was bored on a summer day last year. Not even close. Not even close. Does it take some time?
Actually, I would love to say it takes years and years to master, and that would be a lie. That day that I bought the balloons at the store, I had 5 of them mastered within an hour.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's that simple. John,
No,
I think
it takes years of dedication. The self-denial is it's hellish, I'm telling you.
lived in a hut on a mountaintop for 3 years just to master this.
I'm sure you did.
But we had to find the balloon master in Nepal.
Is that how you pronounce that? I've been saying that wrong for a long time.
I don't know. Haven't been to Nepal.
Nepal, the country, not nipple.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know. I just always have to ask this
affect your
question.
social life.
Wiener dog, wiener dog.
I love this. That looks good too. See, this takes years to master. You guys need to remember that at home.
Yeah, the dedication, the sacrifice.
The blood, sweat, and tears of the countless.
Squeakiness. No, it's just crazy, I'm telling you.
And the fun part of this really is you can learn pretty quickly the basic shapes. But from then on, it's all up to your imagination. You can make whatever you want.
Oh my
and
gosh.
So honestly, I will just tell you a little bit about the beginning of how I started this. Is I was waiting in line with two squirmy kids, 3 and 1 year old. Balloon guy was making chimpanzees in a tree and flamingos. And
were these your kids?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
My two children.
Good clarifier.
I did not just find them. Hey, come here.
I was going to have to rethink this whole.
John's like, actually, the show is going to be posted. No. That's awesome.
My two children, Camille and Jesse, getting very restless. And by the time we got up there, it had been 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And they were wanting the flamingo, which popped heading out the door. And I just decided, that's not worth it. Most of the balloon shapes that we make can be made within 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Almost
That's how it
all
should
of
be.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get markers, draw faces on, give them personalities. And most of the shapes for, we do a father-daughter dance in Hillsboro, Illinois for 300-400 girls.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to move and you got to keep going. And so simplicity is key.
Yeah.
If I have a small party, 10 kids, then we can get into the fishing poles and the queen hats and all the fairy wings they love. So then we can expand.
Mm-hmm.
But you can go from a puppy dog to a full suit.
This is just incredible to me. And I like the fact that you guys know that, if there's a larger group, you aren't keeping everybody, waiting and unhappy and they get the kicking and screaming and the tantrums. I mean, you're pretty efficient. That's a machine.
Yeah, crank them out, make sure as many people as possible want them, get them, and then you can come around second time around and maybe do something a little more elaborate or make duplicates for those who pop theirs.
I have been stopped in the middle of a street with my suitcase full of balloons packed up, walking out to my car, and someone come running up to me with a screaming baby.
Oh, no.
A 2 or 3 year old. His balloon popped. Can you help us? And I lay the suitcase down, unzip it, get out a balloon, make the balloon. I've even had, a month ago, I did a balloon show. Mama knew someone who knew me and said her son's balloon popped and he's freaking out. And they brought him to my house and I made him 3 new balloons and gave him a permanent one. So the kids get very attached.
That's really cool, though. And that's what it's all about.
It is what it's about. Yes.
Well, Professor, it's free to come on the show. Just so you know, you don't have to pay.
Oh, well, I
didn't know if that was for a trick or you were just saying
no,
thank you.
This is for you.
Oh.
I am saying thank you. This is our second visit here. And
yes.
So you have to be very careful with this. I don't want anyone to know. It's just between us and them.
Okay.
This is a printing press.
What?
Yeah. So I brought you a gift today. John, you decide how much to give them. Do you think $1 would be nice? Or should we go up?
Yeah, let's up it.
Okay, thank you, John.
We'll double your money. We have a 2.
You can't even hardly buy a beer for that.
Yeah,
Can you buy a beer for $5?
I could, but I could also buy 2 without $5 and a little bit more.
Okay, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, John.
Yeah, not just one beer. Come on.
We're getting hot.
Yeah.
What if you're on a date?
Ooh.
10 isn't going to do it.
No.
20 probably won't even get you past. She'll leave before.
Yeah.
You pull out the 20, she's gone.
You got to flash that cash when you're on a date, man.
Oh,
This is for CJ. CJ, tell me, what amount of money would satisfy you?
Today?
Yes.
$100.
Oh, dude, he is easy. Go up.
1,000?
big, man.
A million?
Okay, fine.
A million. That's what I want. I'll take $1 million.
Okay, this is for CJ.
There we go.
What?
is magically printing money. Don't let the Federal Reserve find out about this.
Oh my God!
Tell everybody about this. Printing press has done its job. CJ is now Illinois' newest millionaire.
Woohoo! $1 million!
Do not spend it in one place, CJ.
Oh my! There was nothing in that. There was nothing in that.
This is empty, and also it's illegal. So
yeah.
The Secret Service is on their way. Actually,
I hear helicopters.
This is incredible. That's so cool.
You're a millionaire.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Fake millionaire.
Actually,
but
hold
still.
on, because I always keep things.
Uh-oh.
I mean, multi-millionaire from the first trip. Even I can come up with a surprise or two. I keep everything that people give me. Multi-millionaire talk show host. That's going on my Facebook.
League, John.
Where actually, I mean, I should start working for the big four news companies now. I got the bank account now.
At the end of every time I do this trick, I always ask the kids, the next step is, so what's better than $1 million? And then at churches, I'll pull it up and there'll be God. Or a library show, I'll pull a slip that says reading.
That's really cool.
Mental health, I'll pull one out that says support for my bully shows. So you can turn it into a message trick.
I love that.
I always tell them that what's better than $1 million is the machine that makes $1 million bills.
Very true.
You know, how many of your shows are you going to plug? I mean, libraries, churches. Oh, speaking of which, we have a sheet.
Oh. I got one better for you.
That's one.
And
also, look, it's the magic tracker.
Wait, what?
The magic tracker.
I didn't know we brought a magic. It's like the Santa tracker, only better.
That's right.
So yeah, it just talks about our summer schedule. It has some information on here. Of course, you know, this Saturday the 14th, the show starts at 7 p.m. in the event room at Old Bakery. Tickets are still available online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just look on Facebook for the Magical Mayhem Show, Professor Longhair Magic Shows, John Johnson Magician, or just John Johnson. Then we have some library shows coming up in Carlinville, in Wood River.
For Mayhem.
Yeah, those are Mayhem shows. We'll be up in Nokomis for their homecoming in July. I'll be in Dorsey for the Family Fun Night. Doing some close-up magic, just all sorts of things going on. And we'll be at Fringe Fest again this year in St. Louis in August.
Really
cool. So those
cool.
are some of the things. And every Tuesday, I'm doing close-up magic, Bossa Nova.
I saw that. How's that been going?
Yeah, it's just
That's
really a lot
cool.
of fun. It's just really chill and relax. I just hang out, have a few drinks. I turn some tricks, and away we go.
Always turning the tricks.
I love that. Thank you, John, for some good
You're
comedy,
welcome.
too. Now, I got a question just because I'm nosy. What do we got cooking over here?
So, one of the things about magic is that, like John was saying earlier, you can do illusions with anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm teaching magic classes at Kaskaskia College in the next 2 weeks. I just did some classes for Mac Art and Staunton. And so I teach them how to use everyday objects, and you can make these. So you can cut the rope. At Mac Art, they could actually make one of these themselves. This is ceramic. And so what we do is, if the screen can see, put your hand out again. You won't get bit or nibbled. Just catch the rope, if you would. All right. He didn't catch the rope. So catch the bottle instead.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, now wait. I just want you to pull the rope. Show everybody.
What the hell was that?
Give him a hand.
What the hell was that?
Look at that, CJ. You are amazing. He's amazing.
Oh, my goodness.
Get it, sir.
Well, before I let you guys go, you guys saw this flyer. I'm going to put this on the screen again. That's the Magical Mayhem Show flyer. It is coming up in just 2 days. $35 includes 2 drinks. The Old Bakery Beer Company, which is just a great venue. And, of course, just a great show. You guys are always fun, too, man. And, John, before I let you go, what's the big one you're pulling out on Saturday?
Oh, you want me to tell my secrets?
Not tell, but tease. That's what they used to call me.
Tease. You were the tease. I don't think a lot's changed.
No.
One of the things I'll be doing is taking these big steel rings, big metal rings, and doing some wild magic with those. And I may mix in a little bit of martial arts movements in there too.
No kidding? That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So yeah, there's going to be money pulled out of the air, cards and fans of cards all over the place, just all sorts of craziness.
I love it. Well, I got to ask you, I have never signed off with a mouse before, but can I hold the magic mouse as we sign off?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Absolutely. The mouse is
I'm so surprised. I thought it was, this is the best mouse. Okay.
Magic Mouse rocks.
She's amazing. And
Magic Mouse rocks. All right.
Say goodbye, Magic Mouse.
We are out of time. Magic Mouse is out of time. And we'll see you tomorrow on Friday. Until then, try your best to stay out of jail.
All right.